Hey everybody, it's Andy, and this week our theme for the Fangirls Club is what to do when. Now, let me tell you, I've been really stressing about this video because I have an event I gotta go to today, and I won't be able to post this the day I'm supposed to post it, so I'm gonna do scheduled upload. So, I've been stressing about so much this week. I have a test Monday, I have questions due Tuesday, and these aren't just normal, when did this happen in history? No, it's what happened to the Mesopotamian people, and why were their mistakes critical to the development of human society? And if they were critical to human society, please explain why. And it's like a paragraph front and back on a page. So it's kind of like doing a college course, because this does count for a college credit. And I was thinking, well, what am I going to do this week? Because I have to get it done, and I don't want to, post one week, say I'm going to be posting videos, and then the next week not even show anything, So that gave me the idea for today's what to do when, which is what to do when you feel stressed or overwhelmed, and what to do when you're falling behind in your schoolwork. Now let me tell you, I know both sides of the story. I've done sports, not recently, but I have done sports. So any of you doing high school sports, I don't know the struggle, but I know there's a lot of work involved because my brother did football, he did track, and he had a job. So while he had his job, he had to do football, and while he had his job, he had to do track. And let me tell you, he was stressed because he also had to get his homework done in between. But he made it through. Didn't pass all of his classes like he should have, but that's because one of them was really hard. And so I have some tips for you on how to keep up with your schoolwork, but also do all the fun clubs and stuff you like to do. So my first tip is to get a planner, or use the planner they give you. Now you may be thinking, that's stupid. Why would I use the stupid planner? They're not useful at all. That's where you're wrong. I have never used my high school planner until this year. I may be a sophomore, but I've never used my school planner, unless they forced me in elementary school. And I never even used it then. I never looked at my homework. So, use your planner. Even if you don't have homework in a class, still just write what you did, and then just put a check in the box so you know you have no homework. So what I do is, I have accelerated algebra 2 first hour. So I'll write down what assignment we learned, like what chapter we did, and if I have homework. So it'll be like assignment 2.1 today. So I would write 2.1, and then I'd write HW for homework if I had it, and if not, I put a check in the box. And it's that simple. And then you just do that for every hour. So that way you don't have to worry about whether you have homework in a class or not, because you already have it filled out in your planner. I would also, if you don't have a normal planner, like at your high school, like they don't pass out planners or anything, they have different stores around the area will sell planners. You just gotta find them, look near the notebooks, or look near the calendars, because they will most likely be in those two areas. And if you need help finding those, ask a store representative. I'm sure they know where they are. And so, that leads me to my second tip. They will know where they are, so you need to know where your stuff is. In your room, if you have 10 tons of clothes on the floor, your books are underneath, your pencils are thrown around the room, your planner is somewhere in your house, that's not going to help you any, because you're not going to know anything unless you gather all this stuff up, which just wastes time. So what I would do is, if you are worried about the week, clean your room on Sunday or Saturday or even Friday after school. It's going to take you half an hour tops, unless you live in a black hole like some of my friends. What you do is you go in your room and you just clean, and then get it to where at least nothing's on the floor, all your stuff is at least organized where you'll be able to find it tomorrow. And then when you come home, all you gotta do is sit down, do your homework. It's super easy. Now my next tip is just do it. Don't procrastinate. Now, if you're one of those people who cannot do their work at that moment and you have to procrastinate because it's the only way you can do your homework, and I kind of know how you feel, there's only certain things I can do at certain times, but you also have to be sure you can get it done. Don't procrastinate for like half an hour before class starts and I gotta write a 6-page essay on why Mesopotamia didn't do this correctly. I mean, I hesitated, but my paper didn't have to be 6 pages. My paper had to be 6 paragraphs, and I'd already done half of it the night before. So I only did 3 paragraphs in class, and I just had to support everything I said with evidence. Now, I also need to say this. If you have homework and say, like, this has happened to me a couple times. Say you have, like, algebra homework, and you have English homework, and you have, like, an AP class with homework, whatever class, and they're all due tomorrow, whatever classes you can't turn the stuff in late for more than 50% credit, do it. And if none of it can be turned in for more than 50% credit, do it in either the order you have the class or the hardness of the work. So, like, if you know you can get your algebra done like that, but then you know you can't get your English done like that because you suck at English, and you know your AP World History is a huge grade, what I would do is prioritize. So, like, algebra, you can get it done quickly, you only got a few problems, do that, so you at least don't have that missing. Then go to your AP World History, so that way you can at least get more credit in that class, because that's a hard class. So if you have an AP class, do your AP work, because that's going to help you in the long run. Also, if you stink at English, you should probably get help from the teacher, and that's my next tip. If you're struggling, and you know your friend's good at a subject, ask your friend. I have multiple friends who ask me for help because I'm in honor classes and AP classes, so I can help them with their homework. Now, if you don't have a friend who can help you, like even your smart friends go, I don't know, this is beyond me, then next you should go to your brothers and sisters or your parents. Only go to your brothers, sisters, or parents if they know what they're doing. My brothers helped me with my homework, and I got all but the ones I did by myself wrong. And it was awful. It brought my grade down a whole bunch. So I only ask them if I know. Like, my brother Jordan, he took Algebra 2 last year. He's going to be able to help me remember that stuff. Eric didn't take anything for 3 years because he's been out of high school for a couple of years. So what you need to do is just be sure the person you ask knows what they're talking about. And if you don't have, like, anybody else you can go to a teacher. That's what they're there for. They're there to help you. Now, if your teacher can't help you in a way that's going to be easy for you to understand, go to a different teacher for that subject. Say, hey, my teacher's explaining this in a way I don't understand, and I went for help, and they didn't really help me. Could you please try and help me? And I'm certain that teachers will help you, unless they're the crabby teachers that don't care and hate kids. Those teachers are creepy. But you know what? It's really gonna help, because then you'll know what you need to do. And also, if you have a whole bunch of clubs after school like I do, I know you're going to be stressed about how to get your homework done before the club or how to get it done after the club. And I know some of you will stay up till like 3 in the morning doing homework, set your alarm for 2 hours, and then wake up the night within 2 hours and finish it. That's what I have to do. Now, what I recommend the best thing to do is that if you cannot get your homework done at home, what I would do is do part of it at lunch. Do some of it in the morning when you go to school. Like, if you have a success period or a time when you can go get help from teachers, what I would do is go into their classroom and do your work. Or what I recommend is just get it done in class. If your teacher gives you enough time in class to do it, don't sit around, twiddle your thumbs, and joke with your friend and throw pencils in the ceiling trying to get them to stick. Do your work, because if you do your work, you'll be able to have more fun after school. And also, don't rush when you do your work. At least take the time to do it correctly. Because if your teacher makes you redo things, it's not going to help you any, because you did all that work and then you got to redo it because you did so poorly on it. There's no point in rushing if you don't even do the work correctly. So, these have been my tips. And I also recommend that if you cannot get all your homework done and you're starting to suffer in a class, find the thing that you don't have a commitment to. Like, I have 2 youth groups, which I have a commitment to. I have drama club, which I'm the president, I have a commitment to. Now, fall play for me. I didn't get a call back, and I don't know if I'm going to be cast. But if I am not cast, I can't do stage crew, because I have so much work I already have to do. I don't have a commitment to that. So I'm not going to be doing it. Also, I have a thing after school on Tuesdays that I go to. People can help me with my work there. I go there for the whole day, though. So, if I go there, I can do my work before we have a lesson, and after we have a lesson, and before we eat dinner. So that way I can at least get it done. Be sure you manage your time wisely. Be organized. Don't procrastinate unless you're one of those people who have to. Prioritize. And then if you need to like cut something out to make time, I totally understand how hard it is. I had to do that a few years ago and it hurt me so bad because I could not hang out with my friends as much. But they understood because they know I want to succeed. So these are my tips for what to do when you are stressed or overwhelmed. And if, like the little thing says, stress spelled backwards is desserts. If you need a piece of chocolate or something, just have a small piece. Don't gorge out because then you're going to feel sick. Just have a small piece and then get to work because chocolate actually does make you happy. So, these have been my tips. If you have any more questions about what to do when, you can put them down below and I will answer as many as I can. Now, I do not know about sports, but if you have sports, what I recommend for this is be sure you get good grades. So you may actually have to get a tutor or something. Because I know people who have tutors for sports because you got to keep your grades up, right? You have a D, they're not going to let you play. So keep your grades up for sports, keep your grades up for everything. Now, if you're one of those people who it's hard for you to get an A and a C is really good for you, then at least go for a B. Like, just gradually work your way up. I mean, that's what my brothers did. They were not good in school, and they gradually worked their way up. And Jordan got almost all A's his senior year, which is great. I'm one of those people who are just naturally able to pick things up. So, I mean, everybody's different. So, I mean, just if you need help, go to a teacher and ask. Don't be afraid, because they're there to help you. They're not going to criticize you because you don't know what you're doing. Now, I'm pretty sure if you were goofing around in class, they'll probably go, now you know not to goof around in class, because it's true. You goof around in class, you're not going to know what to do. So, this has been Andy, and I will see you guys all next week.